We have medicinal plants all around us, from willow, which gave us aspirin, to hawthorns. And I don't treat a disease, I treat a person.
Welcome to the You and You podcast, hosted by me, Sanjiv Sangha. I hope you like this episode, and if you do, please could you share it with a friend or hit the like button. Your support means the world to me. In every episode, we look at a phrase or a word in how it might have impacted my life. The idea is that I give you a bit of context around the subject and then maybe a little bit about my story and how I moved through it or with it. Sometimes I have a special guest that will give a bit more insight onto that subject matter. Today is Victoria Edwards, a herbal medicine specialist. So let's dive in and explore today's episode, which is about a little bit about the natural world and exploring it, I think. So today you brought this lovely tea for me, because me and Victoria met at my birthday this year, which was really insightful and it was lovely to meet. And then you brought these lovely herbs for me. So what are we drinking today? I'm too scared to drink it right now because it's a bit hot.
Yes, be careful. I love the sunshine cups, by the way. We all need a bit of sunshine in winter.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, we're drinking tea with schisandra berry, and it is called five-berry herb for a reason that it has all five flavors. It is sweet, sour, bitter, and salty, and umami, all in one. And this switches on all your senses. What it does to your brain, it turns it on in a way that it improves your physical performance and your mental performance all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
It is often used by athletes in training to increase their endurance and optimize body recomposition. And it is also used during exams by the students to increase their mental performance, or if you're working in a very precision job, so in exacting professions, it's very useful because it makes you very focused and stimulates your mind. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, no. So because you mentioned beforehand the word adaptogens,
Yes,
and that it contains them. What are adaptogens?
so adaptogens work on your brain, which is your center, your command center for your entire physical body.
Oh.
And all processes in our body, depend on what our brain tells it to do by hormonal balances and imbalances sometimes. So what this berry helps as an adaptogen, it helps to modulate the response. So if you have overload of a certain hormone, it will switch on to clearance of those unnecessary hormones, and then the other way around. If you have a lack of certain hormone, it will produce extra.
I need to drink more of this, and because it's quite bitter, isn't it? And because you talked about the 5 5 different. Is it 5 or 4 in the tongue?
Five, five that we know.
A bit of the palate of it. Yeah, it's quite crazy, because I think for me, when I drank it before, I was like, oh my gosh, what has she given me?
Yes.
I was like, this one's not so fun.
Yes, if you don't know the story, it's quite hard. But eventually,
it makes you...
as you drink it, you will understand it. Also, the flavor, even the scent. As soon as we smell something or taste something in our mouth, turns on your brain into a specific function. Your brain will command to produce something in your body, depending on flavors. And
it's amazing.
So it's a very, very useful thing. That's why when you take herbal medicines, it's better to take it with water, so that the flavor of the herb, turns on those.
I have
functions.
Chinese medicine. I have a whole kind of base over there of Chinese medicine, and it's not ideal. And but I've got used to it now because I've drank it for a while. But it's really fascinating, what you're talking about, the chemical reactions in your brain and the natural work that the brain does. It's fascinating. And the fact that this herb, which is quite simple, it looks like a dried berry. Well, it looks like a black peppercorn when you put it in, and that it can do so much. What caught my interest in what you were saying was about the athletes. Do they use it in recovery, or do they use it before?
It's used both. It's better for performance boost, so I would take it before going to training.
Yeah.
But you can also use it as an adaptogen because sport is stress.
Yeah.
Your training is a stressful
You're tearing
process,
everything,
physical
aren't you?
stress for your body. So to modulate that stress, to reduce the stress, you would take it after as well for recovery.
So you mentioned to me previously that you were introduced to plants at a very young age. Do you want to talk to me about that and how plants came into your world? Because it's quite a nice story.
Yeah, it's quite unique, I think, to where I was born, because I was born in a low density population country, and I was very lucky to have a lot of nature. 60% of my country is not populated by humans, and it's one of the last biodiverse safe havens for plants and animals which are practically extinct on this continent, on the European continent, sorry,
Wow.
not UK island.
Okay.
European continent.
Yeah.
And so I was very lucky to be able to, see nature and all the species, all the threatened species in their original habitat, coexisting and as it should be. As a child, I was taken by my grandparents, which is a very common practice in my country, actually.
Yeah.
I was taken by my grandparents to forests to forage for berries and collect bark saps for food and medicine. And, first thing when you had a tummy pain, your grandma would just pull out some dried herbs and make a little tea for you rather than, take you to the doctor or, use allopathic medication, which was very nice. Usually, it helped and I had no more problems. From a very young age, because I've had this experience with these precious habitats, I was taught also about the importance of preserving it, about the importance of biodiversity specifically, because you cannot cut the forests down, make a way for farming, and then try and regrow it back again. It will not have the biodiversity.
Oh, of course not, because there's so much depth.
The animals and the insects will not, come back to these lands.
Well, it's all the kind of the mosses and the bacteria and
yes, it's everything.
All there's like all these like microclimates within just even the decaying tree, isn't there?
Exactly, absolutely that. And so it is important when you're wildcrafting. It is important not to disturb that natural balance. You only take what you need, and you do it in a way that you don't damage the ecosystem.
Wildcrafting, that's a nice word, isn't it?
Yeah, something you don't see much outside of
it's the first time I've heard it, yeah. Well, no, because people just they're like, oh, I'll just take all of that. So what you're saying is...
Luckily in the UK, they introduced, in London, we're now in London, so they have introduced fines for... picking mushrooms, and because we have the density of population matters, and there are so many people in London. It's very high concentration. So if everyone takes one, there'll be nothing left. And then and also not everyone knows how to do it properly.
That's true, isn't it? I would love to learn more about nature, because whereas I think you were taken into nature to explore that, we used to have like a back garden and my dad used to have an allotment. So there was an element of, but it was more farming rather than exploring.
Yeah.
So there's something quite beautiful in what you're saying. Did your grandparents used to like talk you through each one and what it did, or was it just like, oh, it's a bit of fun, we're going for a nice walk, oh, look at what we found?
It depending whether it was harvested, so something for food, like for example mushrooms during mushroom season. They would teach me that you have to cut them in a specific way, how to tell toxic ones from edible ones, all different elements. And if it came to medicinal plants, my grandmother just knew, what the medicinals look like, and she could just find them in the field and show me, this one will be for the tummy ache, this one will be for the headache, So it's a very traditional apprenticeship style learning for herbal medicine.
And are you sharing this knowledge with your daughter now? Because is she like 4 now?
Yeah, she's 5 now.
5, yeah.
Yes. She's just coming to that age. I started to learn around 5.5, 6 years old. So yeah, we travel back to visit my family regularly, and I'm planning to do it in the summer because right now it's all snowy. All covered.
Winter
it's not the season to collect things. The nature is asleep, so we're not going to touch it. But
in a few months' time.
Yes, in a few months' time when we go back in spring or summer, for sure, I will be taking her. But nature is all around us, wherever we walk. She often points out things like she will find a jasmine growing on the fence of a church or something else, and she'll just point it out and be like, oh my God, this smells amazing. What is this? Let's talk about it. And then I start a conversation about the properties of this plant and what it's called. Yeah, she's very curious. She loves nature. She has an innate connection with nature and plants.
Well, that's understandable.
I think we're all born with this connection in a way.
Well, we are nature, aren't we? I think this is what happens with humanity. Like as the way I see it is, we're not above plants or animals. We should be as part of it, but we have a slight maybe ego mindset. I don't know, where we've kind of because of the knowledge and how we communicate and how humanity has developed. Yeah. It's almost like set apart, but actually we do just need to reconnect with nature.
Yeah. Unfortunately, especially living in large cities, we're taught to go from work, like don't take too much time outside of work and home, and then you get so tired. It's understandable. Like current lifestyle is much faster and much more demanding, and the rents have to be paid, and people need to put food on their tables, and that's why they hardly have time to, think about being mindful or be distracted by, things around you. Yeah. But this is what I would like to spread more is, that awareness. And in fact, there are some scientific studies that show that looking at nature and hearing the sounds of nature will reset your mind, it will make you psychologically well. And you will perform better in your work and everyday life.
Oh, I can imagine that, because it would just calm your nervous system down, rather than the go, go, go and the oh my God, what am I going to do next? What's happening? It would just be like, oh, let's breathe with this. And
absolutely right. Yes, you need to remember to breathe and be mindful of your environment.
I need to remember this. I'm kind of like, oh my God.
All of us. I'm not talking just you.
I was talking to a friend last night, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm really struggling because I haven't meditated in a while because I went on holiday, got sick, and then it just went out the window. Then I started a new job, and I'm like, I've really got to get down and start meditating because I'm just a bit frazzled. Yeah. But so at what point did you realise that working with plants was more of a passion and more of your life's work than just something that you experienced as a young child?
So, well, this is a bit of a personal story, to be honest. I haven't told it to many people, but I guess it's time. Yeah, I might as well.
Please share.
So, I came to this realization at one of my lowest points in time. We all have ups and downs in our lives, and when things weren't falling apart as they should in my life, I sought help with a quantum healer, and this was a hypnosis session in order to access my consciousness, deep consciousness. And after I saw the visions of the obstacles in my life and how I could remove them, I came to this myself, and I saw the purpose, what I'm supposed to be doing. It was like a image of me growing plants in my garden and sharing the fruit from this garden, which would help people get well.
Yes.
And within that following week or two, somebody came up to me and told me there is a university course which I can take and study herbal medicine, which I didn't even think is possible, because I heard of it as an apprenticeship, but I didn't know any herbalists in my immediate circle to study with.
Who does,
Yes.
It's very unique.
Suddenly I had this opportunity and I jumped onto this course, which happened to be one of the top places to study. And interestingly enough, it closed 2 years after I've completed the course.
It's amazing how everything clicks into place, isn't it? When you kind of realise what it is and then you bring stuff into your life and you clear the blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you enjoy the course? Where was it? Was it in London or was it outside?
I was in the heart of London, just next to Oxford Street. So amazing location. Best things, that we had a polyclinic and also access to NHS hospitals as well. So, which is very nice. I would like to have more Western medicine practitioners to have faith and trust in herbal medicine or understanding of it. I think they just so compartmentalized. They don't know anything about the herbs.
I think that's just partly because of all the training. It's a lot. Some of it is like, you've got these symptoms. Let's fix the symptoms rather than the root cause. Whereas herbal medicine is probably a bit deeper.
They do. It does mention in allopathic when you open BNF, it does say it's for treatment for symptomatic treatment relief. It's not treating you. It's so I believe in allopathic medicine as well. I believe that it's very useful. I also believe that a lot of the chronic conditions are better cured with herbs, or even like skin conditions. There is no allopathic medication that's gonna help you with treatment of skin conditions. So this is something I practiced in NHS hospital setting actually. Which was amazing, and I wish they had more resources like this available to people, because people were, so grateful to be able to access this care that actually helps, with their problems within the system, covered by NHS.
It's a very big conversation if you go down that route, and quite a political one and very loaded. But I think that there's something very beautiful that, it's like, when plants grow, you have the plant that stings, and then right next to it, you have the plant that soothes. So you have the nettle, and then whatever, because nettles are like, I suppose, one of the most amazing plants ever. But then you have the leaf next to it, which then cures you.
The thing about plants, they contain up to 36 different constituents within one plant. And
no way.
Yeah, so unlike the allopathic medication, which is a singled out, standardized ingredient that is just used for specific target, in the plant, you can use that same constituent, but you also have other constituents within it already that will protect and look after your other organs and systems at the same time. So, because if you take high concentrations of one element, you could cause damage to your liver and kidneys and all that stuff. So
there is research, because obviously I do go to a doctor as well, and they always say, well, just be mindful about what you're doing, and okay. How did studying at university deepen or change your connection to nature? Because it would have been different to what you learned when you were a child. Yes,
well, it made me more, I guess I always strived for a more scientific explanation of how things work, and it gave me that better understanding of chemical constituents and how to extract them better, how you can combine them so they work in synergy and create a completely different element, different effect on human body. Also, studying anatomy, chemistry, really helped to understand human body, how it works.
Which is amazing.
Studying disease. There's a lot of different subjects that were covered, but each helped, in its own way, to better understand how I can use those constituents to interact with the human body. And the practice, having at least 500 hours of practice with real people whilst studying, really helped me as well.
Because they would have all had you'd had different case studies then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, they're not just case studies, they were actual real people. And I had, people coming back to me. I could experience, what it's like to be in practice as a doctor, which is invaluable, because it's not for everybody to work with people.
No.
We had 100 people enroll on the course, and I think only 12 of us graduate.
Wow. Was it a 3-year course?
4. So the reason is that at some point, a lot realized they would rather work in a lab, and they had this option because you study science.
Well, when people come to a herbal medicine person, or a herbalist, I'm assuming it's because they've gone through the whole standard medical route, and then they're at their wit's end, and they're like, okay, let's try something a bit different.
Yeah.
And so they're probably quite stressed.
That as well. The thing is that a lot of the patients in at the university polyclinic were referred to us through NHS.
Yeah.
So once they've tried everything under the sky, every single doctor and examination,
they're exhausted.
They're exhausted. They haven't been heard for so long.
Yeah.
And you have to, hold a very strong space, a safe space for them.
Yeah.
To open up, but. Yeah, they always. I mean, people had to cried and broke down in front of me.
Of course, it's it's very hard
because finally somebody is listening. Somebody wants to hear the full story.
Yeah, the compassion, the empathy. I think it's more compassion that you have to kind of put into these circumstances rather than take on their story as a practitioner. But it's I could imagine, and it is hard. Like some people can't hold space for people to do that because hearing people's stories can be really painful.
Yeah. And
it also can bring things up in yourself that that are underlying. So I do understand how only 12. I'm surprised. I thought more would have graduated, but if they transferred and decide to go work in a lab, I get it as well.
A lot of people realize it's not like when you start clinical practice, it's far from for everybody.
Yes.
And also there is a certain level of safety you have to follow,
of course,
in place, which is good as well. Which the university teaches you. You don't necessarily learn it from.
Well, sometimes you have to be able to say no to somebody
just
as well.
Just being in nature, yeah.
Like you can't actually
be able to step away and make your journey, take time to process information and then get back to them, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And reflection is very important as well in every practice. I'm sure every practitioner is taught to do that.
So when somebody comes to you for support, how do you begin to understand what herbs might support them?
Well, first of all, I'm a holistic doctor, so I like to listen to the full story.
Yeah.
I hold that safe space for them to speak and tell me everything about them. I go through different histories, like family history from their background. I go through their medical history. I go through all systematic inquiries, and from that I can build a full picture. And I don't treat a disease, I treat a person. So from their background and their story, I know the words they use, even in consultation, how they appear in front of me. I start building up a little plan in my head how I can help them.
If people were to go out and, in an everyday situation and see any kind of plants out there in nature, is there any that people kind of like overlook that you wish that they saw a bit more and just recognised?
We have medicinal plants all around us, from willow, which gave us aspirin.
The tree?
Anybody knows? Yes, it came from willow bark. To hawthorns, they're all around British, very common plants.
Yeah.
You can actually pick berries. I did ask people, park ranger at the Primrose Hill, for example, my local area, if I could pick some of the hawthorns from there, and he said it's absolutely fine. You can have as many as you like. It's a very good heart tonic. You can just make tea and drink it, every day. I think everyone after 40 should totally drink it every day.
There's a lot of teas here that you're giving. There's a lot.
I love herbs. I love teas.
I think you gave me 3, and now you're mentioning hawthorn. What does hawthorn do?
So it strengthens your heart tissue, your blood vessels.
Okay.
So it's very, very useful, and it's a tonic for your heart. So that's why it's good for everyone.
It's nice. Is there a specific time? Is it berries you mentioned rather than the bark of the tree or something?
Yeah, berries.
Yeah.
Just the little red berries that you see.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have a clue what it looked like. That is how connected to nature I am.
We have Google now, I love advancements in technology. You can now, even have some apps that recognize the plants as well. So
I do have that for my plants to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
I will also be talking, on my Instagram, newly born Instagram, about this.
Which is Victoria Edwards. What's the name of it?
Smallmall.co.uk.
Okay.
So
I'll put on my Instagram. I'll put a link to you.
I will be filming plants that are around us in London.
Yeah.
And, as I walk past something, I will film it and put it out there and tell about it, so that you can also, on your next walk, potentially see them and recognize them and be like, oh, I saw it.
Oh my God. So basically you're saying, Sanjiv, don't storm around the park. Look at what's around you. Somebody actually...
Exactly.
I just normally walk past.
Kick off your shoes, sit down, ground yourself and just breathe and look.
Isn't that what I was saying to you earlier?
It's a very... very well-known rituals, yes.
Yeah, so hawthorn, that's interesting.
Reconnect, get back to your roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you balance traditional herbal wisdom and modern scientific medicine?
This is the difference between the Western herbal medicine practitioner, which I am, and a Chinese or Ayurvedic practitioner. What I do is mostly backed by science, by the research, by the papers. So my practice is mostly evidence-based, and as I mentioned earlier, I love the research, I love the advancements, I love to learn more. I always look at the new papers that come out. I wish they would implement more practices where everything is integrated together, both Western and herbal medicine, like some countries do. There are countries where a GP can refer you both to a herbalist and to take allopathic medication.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yes. In Japan, for example, they have a hospital where they treat cancer and they give support, herbal medicine support in the form of like mushroom treatment, because they funded a huge amount of research into properties, and they found that the recovery rates are much, much better from cancer treatments when they use medicinal mushrooms.
Is there one herb that's like in your own journey that's like kind of been very wise? Because sometimes people talk about plants as being quite wise plants and the spirit of the plant. In your own journey and how you've moved forward?
It's hard to single out one, it's like picking
What's your favorite at the moment?
Favorite child. I don't know about...
I won't tell your daughter, it's fine.
I don't know about wise, but I think I had drawn a lot of inspiration from marigold.
Oh, okay.
The reason being is because it's a very common, but such a powerful little herb.
Is it the one that flowers?
Yes, with the orange flowers.
Oh my gosh! Okay, tell me about this. I'm curious. I've got a different story with marigold.
Calendula officinalis in Latin. So it has a very it's great history. It lies in once British Army was running out of resources and all medications and supplies. They have used it during First World War. To treat soldiers, and it had very, very good effect on stopping bleeding and styptic and vulnerary, so wound healing effects, and preventing infections. But when you look at it, it doesn't look like much, does it?
The birds eat it. We've grown them quite a lot in our family home. I just associate them with my family. Marigolds quite, and it's really bizarre, and the color is like the color of the religion that the religion I'm from, and I've always associated it with the religion and the culture. But I don't know if it is something that grew in India or it's just the fact that my parents really love the vibrancy of the color. I feel like I'm going to go away and research this now.
Well, it's also a little bit of a soldier of its own as well, because if you plant it in your garden, it will attract the pests away from. Like if you like to grow vegetables as well as the decorative plants, it will attract the pests away from the vegetables. So you can do companion gardening with this marigold quite successfully, as well as use it for spicing up your food. They call it
British
saffron.
British saffron. Not heard that one before.
Like it, but yeah, you can use it in your food as a spice. You can so many applications. My mom keeps a pot of ointment in her bag all the time, like for cracked lips or skin.
Oh my gosh!
It's just
This is nuts. Like I didn't realize that marigold had healing properties, that it would help protect the garden because so many, like, I remember once I grew tomato. I had a balcony in one of the places that I lived in. I decided I was going to start trying to grow things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so great because there was loads of snails all of a sudden. But like, if you're telling me that if I had a load of marigolds there, they would have just... But then the snails would have eaten the marigolds.
No, I'm talking more about spider mites and pests of this type, which is tomato very, very susceptible to spider mites.
Okay.
But marigold would attract them away from your tomatoes, and green fly, all that type of...
Interesting. I feel like I need to go learn about plants and companion planting. You don't really want
to spray your tomatoes, with anything, because you're going to eat them.
Oh, God, yeah, like tomatoes are so great when you grow them. I feel like you need to do a cooking class with me, but I don't feel like I'm ever going to understand it completely. There's so many things that, like, there is something about... I think last time you were here and I showed you the book that I brought on herbs, and I was like, oh my God, I so want to learn about this. And then I know that I don't necessarily have the space in my life, the time or the mental capacity necessarily to do that. But oh my God, it just sounds so great. And like...
all the more reason for me to carry on with my channel and just give little tips, short, small tips for every day.
I think so, because people do want to know about nature. People are starting to kind of come back into themselves. And it's, it's a positive way to use social media and knowledge share as well. And like that story with your cancer patient is so inspiring as well. Now marigolds have just blown me away. British saffron. Seriously, man. Okay, anyway, we'll go with it.
Maybe cut it out.
You mentioned that...
I'm touching too many areas.
No,
now everyone's going to be like...
we're leaving it all
in. Dare she? All the chefs in the world. How dare she say saffron and marigold?
Well, it won't be as expensive as normal saffron.
More expensive.
I don't know, saffron more expensive than gold at the moment? Don't know. I don't know. It's always borderline really expensive, isn't it? You talk a lot about ethical harvesting and respecting ecosystems. Like you mentioned how your grandparents taught you. What does responsible herbalism look like to you?
In my practice, I prioritize using local herbs. If I can't use those, then I will move on to herbs sourced from other countries. But first will be, as much as possible, I will use the local herbs, because we have a world of plants that are pretty good in the UK. Another part of it is to use... I source them from trusted suppliers. So the medicinal herbs have to be grown without pesticides and organic soil, so everything has to be traceable. Every batch that I get is numbered, and I can trace it down to day and time when it was collected and where, which is important, because this way it didn't come from a threatened habitat. And another thing that I always check is that none of the plants I use are on IUCN threatened species list.
Yeah.
Which is very important. You should never touch those.
What's one small ritual or practice that you'd love listeners to try? Something that helps them to slow down or reconnect with the plants around them?
As a mom, I have learned a very important ritual recently with my daughter.
Yeah.
She taught me to, as we walk, we collect all different stones and plants and anything that catches your eye from nature, and we bring it home and we make temporary or permanent art sometimes together, whether it would be a mandala or a picture, anything. So this is a very good way to sort of slow down, look at what's around you and connect with nature. Notice those colors, notice those shapes, notice the textures.
Well, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so nice. I like that. But that's to create a nice little bit of art, and then you could actually just do it outside and give it back to the earth.
Well, just because this is a more of a winter ritual. We
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get it back in. It is getting quite cold.
Yeah. In the summer, you can just kick off your shoes and ground yourself by walking on grass.
Okay, so thank you so much, Victoria. That was so insightful, and that you really kindly came here to share your knowledge about herbs and marigolds. I'm saying that because of... No. Thank you, Victoria, for joining me today and sharing your knowledge about herbs. It's really fascinating, and I definitely feel that I'm very much on the beginning of my journey with that. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it with a friend. If you have any questions, please message me on Instagram. And thank you for listening to the You and You podcast. Yay! Have a top-tastic day.